everyone. This is Mrs. Padmashri from SNS College of Engineering. Today I am going to discuss with you all about the topic Latent Variable Model in Machine Learning. In short, we will call it as LVM, and Latent Variable Model aims to model the probability distribution with latent variables. So what is a latent variable? Latent variables are a transformation of the data type data points into a continuous lower dimensional space. As we all know, we will be always trying to divide the data items in either we will try to place it in upper dimensional space or in the lower dimensional space. So the mapping of those upper and lower dimensional space will always be there in the machine learning concept in order to improve the performance. So the latent variable explains the data in the similar way. It is in mathematical forms. We explain the data. X follows the probability distribution. We'll take it as P of X and mapped with latent variable Z. So the probability distribution P of Z. Latent variable model or statistical techniques used to explain and investigate correlation between the larger collection of observed variable by incorporating one or more unobserved latent variable. So, what is a latent variable? The latent variable or the variable that we cannot observe. We cannot observe, which is unobserved variable. So, there may be, if you take anything in the machine learning, some data we can observe, like the processing and all we cannot observe, right? Only the data set that we are giving initially to the machine that can be observed. After that, the machine will be trained with the algorithm, like it will prepare a model, train the algorithm, then create a model. So these things are we cannot observe, right? That are latent variable, which is also called as unobserved variables. Is a random. So a latent variable is a random variable which you cannot observe neither in the training nor in test phase. It is derived from Latin later, which means hidden. So those variables we cannot see, it will be hidden. Some phenomenon includes measuring speed or height. This is the latent variable model, where the picture that you are seeing, latent model, during the training or test phase, see a model is going to train. So, which something that we can see or observed. Okay, we can analyze the data after like output we can able to observe or we can analyze, we can able to measure the performance, we can calculate the accuracy of the variable. These are all the observed variable. Unobserved variable, that we cannot do anything with the variable, which is also called as latent. So this is, we cannot see, can either in the testing phase or during the training phase or during the output, anything we cannot see what is happening at the back end, what is happening with the data set that we cannot view. So that is called unobserved data. So it's a model. It's a model in a statistical thing that comprises of both the observed and unobserved variable by establishing the connection between the statistical properties. Includes what if I say the property includes the completeness, um, consistency, sufficiency, minimum mean square, low variance, robustness, etc. of observable variable and the latent variable. So the model, these models are subset of latent structure models, and latent variables serve two distinct purposes with econometric either or statistical models. So the steps involved: first, it allows for measurement error, where manifest the variables represent distributed version of outcomes, true outcome, and latent will be represents the true outcome. That is the distributed version. This represents true outcome. The second purpose, to aggregate the various measures of similar unobserved variables, because it is easy to organize or to categorize the sample units based on the attributes represented by latent variable. LVM finds extensive use, particularly when dealing with multi-level longitudinal panel data and repeated observation. These models are typically characterized based on the nature of response variable. So the continuous or discrete characters of latent variables. Some of the applications of latent variable model, it plays a vital role. Consumer preference analysis, customer segmentation, and in marketing research, where latent factors help uncover hidden patterns and trends. So the financial industry uses the model to forecast the returns of portfolio risk, enhancing the decision making and risk management. In healthcare, it mainly plays a vital role in evaluating the effectiveness of treatments and analyzing the patient outcomes, aiding in evidence-based healthcare practices. So LVM is very important in finding out the risk management in the business and also in the healthcare. The rest of the topic will be discussed in the next lecture. Thank you.